Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Wake Up from NF in his 2015 debut album, Mansion. So this is where we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. I'm musically malnourished. You're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. So let's hop in, give this song a deeper look. Alrighty. Originally released on October 15, 2013, Wake Up was remixed in 2014 for NF's self-titled EP. Interesting. The song is NF's message to people who are struggling with life. People can't appreciate the good in life or fix the mistakes that they have made because they're sleeping. This coma separates happiness from the life we've been given by God. The song, with the help of producer Tommy Profit, cool name, gained the eyes of Capitol CMG, getting NF a spot as an artist and Profit a spot as a producer. Awesome. This song was featured in a promo for NBC's Chicago PD. Man, they were putting his music everywhere. It says the whole background behind the concept is two people that live completely different lives but feel the same. What we're trying to do here for the first scene, for the first character, just show that even someone who is everything that the world would describe as what makes you happy, money, nice house, nice car, nice everything, basically, even someone who has all those things sometimes, like, that doesn't make you happy. Okay, awesome. Behind the scenes. I love behind the scenes for music videos. So there is a music video for it and a behind the scenes. We'll do those in one video over on Patreon, so I'll try to get that up fairly soon. Here we go. You spend your life in a dream that you can't escape because you live your life in a coma. You're never awake. If you'd open your eyes, then maybe you'd see what's at stake. You're sleeping. You're sleeping. Now, obviously, it's not talking about a physical sleep. And in some ways, it's almost like a person can be aware that something's not right. They feel it inside their soul, deep in their heart. Like, oh, if I could just get this next thing, if I could just buy this thing, if I could be recognized in this way, then I'd be happy. And it's similar to what the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, one of the wisdom writings, would call chasing after the wind. Solomon, meant to be the wisest man on earth, he started off well, and then he started pursuing, he built Jerusalem into this amazing kingdom, built beautiful things, was able to, in a sense, as from a business mindset, just did incredible things, creating trade routes and all these things with the ancient world, and amassed more wealth than anyone else. And people would come and visit. It's almost like, if you go watch what another company does to learn from them, like people would come and visit and spend time with him and just in awe of what he did, what he created, and what he led, and all those different things. But the book of Ecclesiastes kind of paints this sad picture of that, in a way, because he had a ton of wives as well. And it's just this, like, I've sought every pleasure that you could imagine, and it's all chasing after the wind, meaningless. And so it brings us back to, like, okay, well, geez, if you could have everything, like, you're talking about the pinnacle, all the wealth, all the fame, all the wisdom, and yet you just feel like you've been chasing wind. So that calls into question, man, what is life really about? And so in a way, you could not even recognize that you are walking through life asleep, and yet you have some awareness of, like, something doesn't feel right. And so that call to wake up, man, come out of the matrix, man. Listen, getting conspiracy theory here. You just plugged into the matrix, man. But that ability to be aware of what matters most and make sure you're putting your time, your attention, your heart, your goals, your soul into those things versus all of just the outward stuff that ultimately leaves you empty. You make a lot of money, you live in a mansion, and pretty much got everything you could ever imagine. But you feel like even though you got everything in the world, you got nothing. So what do you do then? You start going backwards. You run in a direction and you're looking for something that isn't real. And all you know is that you just got to have it, right? That's kind of what I was talking about, is you have some awareness like something's not right here. And it's not to say, again, the ideal job or a nice vehicle or a nice home or all of these things can be beautiful, but it's almost like what's it with accoutrements? Like, you want to live in a place to where if those things were stripped away, you'd still be a rich person in your relationships, in your character and who you are. And so, yeah, like it's not the point that all those things are evil, but if that's the sum total of your life, that's not a great place to be in. What you're doing is sleeping and thinking you're awake and you're not. And the problem is that you don't know what you're after. So again, still with what we were talking about, that idea you're sleeping and thinking that you're awake and you're not, that's probably the saddest place, is when people are not necessarily like, oh, I just don't really know what I'm looking for, but more so just arrogant and gung-ho, is like flaunting wealth and status and stuff. But like people that are awake look on and just go, you're foolish. It's stupid. It's empty. You might have people around you because they think the same way that are like, oh my gosh, so amazing. I wish I could be invited. I wish and they hang on to you. But people that are awake look on at that stuff and just go, who cares, man? I would rather have a Saturday night with all my kids and my wife piled up in my bed, watching a movie together or whatever it might be, than be invited to some like, what's that, the Alabama line, snooty faluti or highfalutin event or something like that. Like going to do something like that would be cool, like getting invited to some event or whatever. Like, sure, cool, fine. But that's not, because that's not what I'm chasing. It's like, oh, that'd be fun to go do. But the other thing, man, that's what I'd rather have. And so it's almost sad when people flaunt those things as if everybody wants them, and we're just looking on like, I feel pity for you. So you put everything you have into what you do, hoping one day maybe you don't have to feel like you're empty. But as you get older, a lot of weight on your shoulders is getting heavy. Then you look back and you start to regret things. You only get one life, and every time you're looking at yours, you feel like everything you have is a waste. That's a sad place. And the problem and the reason you could never fill a hole in your life is because you were never awake. Oof. Wake up now, sooner than later. And this is why I was always, I was a youth pastor for nearly a decade. I've always had a passion toward high school guys, because that was when like my life was off the rails, dude. And there was a youth pastor that stepped in and made all the difference for me. And I was like, man, if I could just give back a small bit, if I could do for one other what that person did for me, and introducing me to Jesus and teaching me and being patient with me and showing me what it truly meant to live passionately for Jesus. Like if I could just do that for one other person, and thank God, like I've had the opportunity to do that for many people. And I'm still in touch with, some of the guys that I led in middle school or high school that now are married and have kids and are doing wonderful. But I always would just speak to young men. It's just like, don't waste it. You don't like just go off and do your own thing for 10, 20, 30 years, because there's no guarantee you wake up. Because some people are like, oh, I'll pay attention to that one day. And it's like, there's no guarantee of that. And man, how sad would it be to get 10, 20, 30 years down the road? God has grace for that. He's always pursuing. He's always calling us. But if you can, now, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, like wake up and don't waste the next part of your life. Invest in what matters here and now. Spend your life in a dream you can't escape, because you live your life in a coma. You're never awake. You wake up in the morning but feel like you never got up and go to work. Oh gosh, wow, what a line. You're feeling like you ain't got purpose. You're trying to get motivated, but everything you do turns into a mess, like you ain't nothing but worthless. You look around, a lot of these other people you looking at, to you describe as perfect. So you point a finger at God and tell him to do his job and fix your life up because nothing is working. Yeah. And that's where you go, like he's made himself available. He's speaking and he's leading, and it's ultimately on you. It's not his fault. And sometimes you can only thank God if everything falls apart. Because the worst thing is that you're totally focused in the wrong direction and things are actually just going fine and you just keep living that way. Sometimes it's the grace of God that brings you to ruin to wake you up. You'll try to hide it and make it seem like it's nothing, but really you feel like everything is crashing around you. You developed a problem in trusting other people, which later became an issue that would mentally pound you. You only get one life, but every time you're looking at yours, you feel like all you ever see are mistakes. The problem and the reason you could never move forward in life is because you were never awake. Wake up. Powerful message, man. It's a message, a tale as old as time, and it's always needed. It's always a good reminder. Where's your focus? Where's your heart? What are you working toward? And if you really you're interested in a biblical lens, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added to you. And what are the other things? Right before that, Jesus talks about where you're going to live, what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear. And he's saying, like, people that don't know God, just pursue all these things. Here's how I'll illustrate it. They're like running all these directions, like, oh, I got to have that. I got to find this job. I got to go to this college. I got to job good, clothes good, college good, relationship good, fine. But the point is, set your eyes and your focus on the Lord. God, what do you want from me today? I just want to be faithful to you. Whatever you have for me, I'm going to walk in it. Give me the courage to follow you. Help me to walk in obedience. You're my everything. And then you step out into your day and do the responsibilities you're called to. So if you're a student, that's do your schoolwork, honor your teachers, be kind to the people around you. If it's showing up for work, kind of the same things apply. Whatever it is, like, you seek first his kingdom in that, and then all of a sudden, like, God opens an opportunity here or points you in a direction here. And so instead of chasing all these things, pursue him, be faithful with what is in your hands today, and trust him to bring these things into the picture at the right time. So, thanks for joining me for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or if there's anything you saw that I didn't see. Really loving this. Love this message. Hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.